Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. This is the foundation of the first power law. In a perfect world, your work would speak for itself. In the real world, you must speak for your work. The psychology of the first impression. Science tells us that people form an opinion of you within 7 seconds. They haven't seen your resume. They haven't seen your heart. They see your posture, your eye contact, and the way you occupy space. If you slink into a room, you are telling the world you are a guest. If you walk in with centered gravity, you tell the world you are the host. Practical application. The art of the pause. Before you speak, pause. This creates status. High-status individuals do not rush to fill the silence. They own the silence. Visual narrative. If you want to be seen as a leader, you must look like a leader before you ever get the title. This isn't about expensive clothes. It's about self-mastery over your appearance. The mirror effect. Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, thinking of challenges ahead. Before a meeting, visualize yourself being ignored and consciously decide to counteract it with a firm voice and clear points. Chapter 2. Control the levers, not the surface. The law of hidden influence. Expansion. Strategic thinking, the concept. Most people chase the crown. The Stoic chases the key. In every organization, there is a formal hierarchy and an informal one. The person with the title CEO has the crown, but the executive assistant who manages the CEO's calendar holds the key. The Stoic strategy. Epictetus taught us to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not. You cannot control if a boss likes you, but you can control your value to the people who influence that boss. Deep dive. Think of a clock. Everyone looks at the hands to tell the time. That's the surface. But the power is in the gears. To become powerful, you must become a gear. Step 1. Map the power. Identify who actually makes things happen. Who does the boss trust for advice? Who controls the flow of information? Step 2. Provide irreplaceable value. Don't just do your job. Solve the problems of the levers. When you become the person who makes the influential people's lives easier, their power becomes your power. Chapter 3. Build options, not dependencies. The law of absolute freedom. Expansion. Financial and emotional independence. The concept. Dependency is the death of power. If you have only one job, that job owns you. If you have only one friend, that friend can destroy your social life. If you have only one source of validation, you are a slave to that source. The Stoic amor fati. Stoics practiced being comfortable with less so that they would never be afraid of losing anything. If you are not afraid of being fired, you can speak the truth. If you are not afraid of being alone, you can set boundaries. How to build options. Financial diversification. Side hustles and savings aren't just for money. They are FU money. They give you the power to walk away from a toxic situation. skill stacking. Don't just be a designer. Be a designer who understands marketing and sales. The more skills you have, the more doors stay open. Emotional self-sufficiency. Practice finding joy in your own company. When you don't need people to like you, they ironically find you more attractive and powerful. Chapter 4. The strategic reveal, the law of controlled transparency, expansion, maintaining the mystique, the concept. In a world of oversharing on social media, the person who remains a bit of a mystery is the person who commands curiosity. If people know everything about you, your fears, your breakfast, your weekend mistakes, they feel they have captured you. You become predictable, the Stoic shield. The Stoics believed in the inner citadel. This is a part of your mind that no one else can enter. You choose what to reveal. The strategy: speak 20% less. In any conversation, try to listen more than you talk. The person who listens is the one gathering data. The person who talks is the one giving it away. The power of "I'll think about it." Never give an immediate yes to a request. Taking time to respond shows that your time is valuable and your decisions are calculated. Chapter 5. Respect over likability, the law of boundaries, the concept. There is a dangerous trap in modern society, the likability trap. We are taught from childhood to be nice, to smile, and to avoid conflict. But Marcus Aurelius lived by a different code. He knew that a leader who tries to please everyone ends up pleasing no one and losing their own soul in the process. The psychology of respect. Respect is not the same as being liked. Likability is often based on how much you give to others. Respect is based on what you refuse to give. When you have no boundaries, people see you as a resource, not a human. They will use you until you are dry, and then they will discard you for someone nicer. Practical application. The power of no. In Stoicism, your assent is your most valuable possession. When you say yes to something you don't want to do, you are lying to yourself and the world. Start saying no without over-explaining. A simple "I can't commit to that right now" is a power move. Conflict is a tool. Do not fear disagreement. The person who is willing to walk away from a deal or a conversation is the one with the most power. The Stoic composure. If someone insults you, a likable person gets defensive. A respected person, a Stoic, remains calm. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Chapter 6. Master your emotions. Master the room, the law of emotional neutrality, the concept. In any high-stakes environment, a boardroom, a court, or a heated argument, the person who loses their temper loses the battle. Emotions are like a fog. They obscure the hidden levers we discussed earlier. The Stoic technique, apatheia. This isn't about having no feelings. It's about not being controlled by them. Marcus Aurelius practiced objective representation. If someone yells at you, don't see an attack. See vibrations of air and a person who has lost control of their own mind. How to use this for power. The reaction gap. When someone tries to provoke you, wait 5 seconds before responding. That silence is terrifying to an aggressor because they realize they haven't triggered you. Observational dominance. Because you are not clouded by anger or fear, you can see the weaknesses in others. You can see who is insecure, who is lying, and who is desperate. Chapter 7. Resilience as a weapon, the law of the unshakable, the concept. Power is often tested through endurance. Most people crumble under pressure. They quit when things get hard, or they panic when a project fails. A Stoic uses resilience as a psychological weapon. The invincibility factor. When your competitors see that no matter how much fate throws at you, you remain standing, you become a legend. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, and betrayals, yet he never abandoned his post. This consistency creates a gravity of power around you. Strategy. Voluntary hardship. Occasionally do things that are uncomfortable. Take a cold shower, fast for a day, or walk instead of driving. This trains your discomfort muscle, the pivot. When a disaster happens, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "How can I use this?" This shift in perspective makes you impossible to defeat. Chapter 8. The law of the greater purpose, the sustainable king, the concept. Selfish power is brittle. If you seek power only for your own ego, people will eventually unite to bring you down. But if your power is tied to a logos, a greater purpose, it becomes indestructible. The Stoic legacy. Marcus Aurelius didn't want to be emperor for the sake of the crown. He did it because it was his duty to the human cosmopolis. The final strategy. Be a mentor, not a guard. Share your knowledge with those below you. By building up others, you create a shield wall of loyalty. Integrity is the ultimate SEO. In the long run, your reputation for being just and fair will bring more opportunities than any manipulation ever could.